All right. Good evening, Team Our Victory. Brittany McMillan here. I'm so excited to be with you guys tonight live on our Wednesday night webinar. Tonight, we are going to talk all about getting coaches started right. It can seem very scary when you first sign up your first couple brand new coaches. What do you even do with them when you first sign them up? So tonight, I'm going to take the guesswork out of that. I'm going to give you a simplified checklist of the things that you must take care of when you sign a new coach in order to feel like you are truly getting them started right. Obviously, it's a process, and you're going to get better and better, and there might be things that you'll tweak and fix as you go, but these things that I'm going to give you, this task list that I'm going to give you, this is something that every coach definitely needs in order to, doesn't matter if they're a discount coach or if they're a hobby coach or if they're a business building coach. It doesn't matter what type of coach they are. This is exactly what you need to do every time, no matter what, when you sign a new coach under you. Okay, before we dive in though, I want to do a couple quick announcements. It is the end of August, so that means we've got 5 more days left of the month, 5 more days to push to hit Success Club. I am starting a new group. I don't have the September calendar up on Team Our Victory just yet, but I'm starting a new group on September 7th, will be the week 0 start date. So if you want to add people into that challenge group, it will be a mixed challenge group. So whatever workout program suits that particular person's needs, all are welcome, okay? So if you are recruiting right now and you want to throw some clients into a challenge group, September 7th is going to be the next start date for that one. You are more than welcome to add them in and contribute to the posting and the commenting and just the overall daily encouragement. 5 more days, push to the end of the month, guys. Don't give up. If you have no Success Club points, if you've got 4 Success Club points, if you're right on the cusp or you're not even there yet, it doesn't matter. Continue your daily behaviors. Share your story. Talk about Shakeology and what it's doing for you. Share your workouts on social media. Talk about where you are in your journey and encourage people to follow you. And if somebody needs your help, let them know that you're here to help them, okay? So just keep doing those daily behaviors, and I promise you that over time, you're going to get there, okay? All right, next announcement, next Monday, Team 180 Business Opportunity Call, okay? So the reason I'm doing this call tonight is because next week we have a Biz Op call. So if you are I'm encouraging you to invite people to that business opportunity. It takes the pressure away from you having to talk all the way through it. So what I'm going to tell you to do is invite as many people as you can that you think would benefit from this opportunity. Invite them next Monday. Emily's going to be doing all the talking. All you have to do is invite them. But tonight is important because once that webinar is over and that person decides, yeah, you know what, I think I do want to sign up, these steps that I'm going to give you tonight are going to be the money in order to ensure that you get them started properly. Last announcement, number 3, before we take off on the content for tonight. Last announcement, Emily and Liz, Emily Copeland from Team 180, Liz Patton, she's on Team Iron, Rockstar, Diamond, Superstar Diamond coaches, like they're so amazing. They're going to be hosting a 5-day Push to Emerald group. It starts next Monday. Now, if Emerald is something that you've been wanting to do, this is an amazing group. You've got 2 rockstar coaches who are going to push you for 5 days. I mean, that's all you've got to commit. 5 days, and they're going to give you all of the insight, all the tips, all the tools from the trenches of how to get to Emerald. So if that's something that you're just, you foresee that you want to have that in your future, Emerald is something that you want, you've got to plug in. There's already some Team Our Victory members who are already plugged into that. I'm super excited for you guys. You're rocking it out. But I'd love to see as many Team Our Victory coaches representing as possible. And let's just push. I mean, why not? What do you have to lose, right? Except for more valuable information. Okay, let's dive in. So next Monday, you get people on this call. You've got somebody who's interested in being a coach. What do you do? So first, let me talk to you about preferred placement. The first thing you need to make sure is you need to make sure that your coaches are going where you want them to go. So when you go into your Coach Online office, you need to select the My Business tab. In the My Business tab, when you go down, you're going to see My Preferred Placement. My Preferred Placement, when you click on that, is going to allow you to place a coach either on your left leg or on your right leg. And you want to make sure, especially if you're going for Emerald, that the first time you place a coach, you place them on one of the legs. It doesn't really matter when it's your very first coach where you place them, but that second coach, you've got to make sure before they enroll, before they go through that process, you've got to get into your Coach Online office, get into My Preferred Placement, and you've got to put them on the opposite leg. In order to achieve Emerald, like we talked about last week, you have to have a coach on your left and a coach on your right. So you got to make sure that they're in the correct place. Excuse me. So how do you do that? My Preferred Placement. And then when you get there, you can select which leg you want them to go on. There's a lot of jargon in there, just either left leg or right leg. Don't confuse yourself. Just put them on one or the other. Okay? So before your coach signs, before they even do that, you've got to make sure you take care of that business. If you foresee signing a coach, like anytime I'm done signing a coach and I'm ready, I want to get ready for the next one to come in, I always make sure that I go into My Preferred Placement and set where I want them to go so that the next time a coach comes around or somebody wants to join the coaching opportunity, I don't have to worry that they're going to go to the wrong place, okay? So make sure that you set that in Preferred Placement. Okay. So you got it set in Preferred Placement. They're ready to go. So what's the first thing we do? Number one, in getting your coaches started right, is you need to personally walk them through the new coach enrollment process. Okay? So how do we do that? Well, it's hard. It's hard to remember some of these things because as a coach, you only did it one time. So, I mean, you did it that one time, you were kind of guided through it. It's hard to remember it. So here's how you do it. Write this down. First they're going to go to your personal Beachbody page. I send them to teambeachbody.com/Britt McMillan. That's where I send my new coaches, the ones that are going to sign. Then they're going to click on the orange button. When they get to your page, there's going to be your profile page. It's got your picture and your bio and all that good stuff. And there's two like little buttons. There's a blue button that says join. And then there's an orange button that says be a coach. You want them to click on the orange be a coach button. Once they click on that, there are 3 ways that a coach can sign up. Now, how to sign a coach up, there is a file in Team Our Victory that kind of goes over a bigger breakdown of this. So if you're not familiar with that file, if you've never seen it, go into the file section of Team Our Victory and check that out because there is a file that I created that talks about the 3 different ways a coach can sign. I'm briefly going to go over them, but this gives you more in-depth detail on our team page. So the first way is if they've never bought a challenge pack before. Let's say they want to sign up as a coach because they see what you're doing, they see how it's changing your life. They're just kind of excited. They've never purchased a challenge pack before, they've never done a Beachbody program before, and they want to get the challenge pack and they want to sign up for a coach for free at that time. That's also an incentive too, by the way. When people talk to you about challenge packs, you can always throw in the coach opportunity because it's free when they first enroll. So that's an option. So when they get to that first screen after it says be a coach, they can go through the options and they can pick a challenge pack and go through that entire enrollment process and they'll become a coach, get their challenge pack, and the coach fee is totally waived. Second way, they could decide they don't want to join a Beachbody program. They just want to join as a coach and purchase nothing. That's acceptable. They can do that. It is $39.95 to do that, and they'll get their coach handbook and the guide, and they'll get sent all of that information. They just will not have a workout program or Shakeology. Side note, I highly encourage you to encourage that person to get on Shakeology Home Direct as soon as possible, or to eventually, if money is an issue or whatever, to purchase the program. Because the reality is, we know that you have to share your story. And you have to be a product of the product. So this coach that is signing the $39.95 and getting their own business for $39.95, which is a steal, that's an amazing deal that they're getting for their own business. But eventually, to stay active, they have to have 50 personal volume points, which we know our Shakeology gives us 90. So it's going to be important that you encourage them and also educate them on what that is once they sign up, if they do so without a program. Okay, third way, if they've already purchased a challenge pack, let's say they were a challenger in your group and they already have their challenge pack, they're drinking their shakes, they want the discount, they're loving it, and they want to dive into this whole coaching opportunity thing, they're going to sign up the same way that that person who didn't want to get a challenge pack signed up. They're going to go to the Be a Coach orange button. They're going to skip past the challenge packs. They don't want a challenge pack. They're just going to go to the very end and they're going to enroll for the $39.95. Once that coach does that, there is a form in the My Business tab. Write this down. You're going to want to direct them to their own personal Beachbody page now, which would be their teambeachbody.com/ whatever username they picked. You're going to direct them to that page into their Coach Online office, the same way that you get into your Coach Online office. Once they get in there, they're going to go to the My Business tab and they're going to go down to Forms and Documents. One of the last forms at the bottom is the reimbursement form for the coach sign-up fee for the challenge pack. They're going to pay the $39.95, but because they purchased a challenge pack in the past, that fee is waived and it's free. It'll get reimbursed to them. You want them to get that link ASAP. The reason, there's only a 30-day window until they cannot get their money back anymore. So it's important that you send them there within, 24 hours of them signing as a coach and let them know that there's a window of time for them to get that back. Okay? So those are the 3 ways that they can sign. So we know what they've got to do now. Go to your Beachbody page, click on the orange button, 3 different methods to get to become a coach. Once they have done the deed, now I do it either way. I will ask them, would you like me to email you the steps to become a coach, or would you rather I walk you through the steps on the phone? I give that option to them. A lot of people would rather I just email them. They're busy, it's just easier. But in my email, I let them know that once they sign to please let me know so that I can check that everything on my end went through properly. How do you do this right in the moment that it happens? You cannot see things in your Coach Online office. It's not refreshed and updated automatically. Usually it's the next business day that your information gets updated. So you're not going to see a coach that just signed up and they text you and they're so excited, or they message you on Facebook like really excited. I just did it. I signed up. I got my challenge pack. You're not going to see that information in your Coach Online office. Where you will see it though is in the previous online view. So in the same way, when you sign in and you want to go to your Coach Online office, you go to that coach tab, and under Coach Online Office, there's the previous online view. And you can go into that tab and it's going to take you into another area where you can then see orders that were just placed or coaches that were just added. It's all instant stuff right there. So when a coach signs, I encourage them to let me know immediately so that I can check that everything went through properly. I give it a little bit of time, like, maybe an hour or so just to, be okay. But if it's not going through and we talk about, okay, what steps did you take, this and that? And typically if I walk them through in this method that I just gave you and I make sure that I'm very clear about where to go and I give them all the directions and links, usually there's no issue. But every once in a while there could be an issue. You only have 72 hours to fix a coach issue. If you sign them up on the wrong leg or something happened and they went to the wrong coach, there's only a 72-hour window. After that 72-hour window, that coach is stuck where they are. Meaning, if a coach wants to move to another leg, if you want a coach to move to another sponsored coach, then they would have to quit the business for 6 months. And then after 6 months, they could start over again. That's kind of a bummer, right? Nobody wants to quit something for half of a year. You probably are going to lose them by that point. A lot can happen in half of a year. So it's important that you make sure that everything is taken care of exactly how you want it so that 72 hours doesn't pass by and then you say, oh, wait a second, that wasn't right. You want to make sure that you cross all your T's, dot all your I's. Okay, that was step 1. Walk them through the process. I have a lot of coaches that get frustrated sometimes because a customer or a coach that's signing up doesn't do it properly. Well, we always have to remember that we cannot blame them. We can only blame ourselves because we're the ones guiding them and giving them the directions. Hopefully, they're listening to your directions and going through it properly. But truthfully, you can really only blame yourself if you're not catching errors in the sign-up process. So if you are nervous about the sign-up process or anything like that, and you're getting ready to sign a coach, shoot me a text message, give me a call, or ask for my assistance so that I can help guide you if you're signing up a coach maybe for the first time and you're just wanting to make sure that everything goes exactly how you want it to. I'd be more than happy to help. Step 2 in getting our coaches started right. You want to shout them out and celebrate. So whenever this happens, I have a coach sign up and they're really excited. And imagine when somebody buys a challenge pack, that's when they're super excited. It's like a new thing, right? Signing up as a coach, super exciting. It's a new thing. It's a perfect moment to really just make this person feel so important and special. So how would you want to feel when you were added to a team? You'd want to feel welcomed and celebrated, right? Which is why I encourage everybody when there's a new coach added to our team, welcome them, encourage them, thank them for being here, welcome them to the team and to our fit family. And the same for, it doesn't matter if it's your coach that was signed or a coach for me or a coach for somebody else on Team Our Victory. It doesn't matter. They're part of our family now. So we have to kind of all come together and celebrate this addition. So you want to put up, what I usually do is I'll go to that person's personal Facebook page. Everybody is different, so you have to be careful because you don't want to offend anybody. But in their page, I'll usually go to their profile pictures. So when I go to look at their photos, I'll look at the albums and I'll look at profile pictures. Now, think about it. When people make a picture their profile picture, it's usually because they really like that picture of themselves, right? I mean, I personally don't put up profile pictures of myself that I think I look terrible in. I don't think you do either. Most people put up their very best photos of them or meaningful photos as their profile pictures. So that's usually where I'll go to their profile pictures and I look for a photo that is, something clear, usually something that's just them by themselves. If they're really family-based, then maybe something with their family too. It depends on the person, but go to their profile pictures and save one of their pictures to your phone. And then what I do is I go into an app like WordSwag or Studio or something like that, and I put a welcome with their name on it, welcome new coach, or welcome to our team, welcome Brittany, whatever. I add some text to that picture. Make the picture look really fancy and nice, really welcoming. And then I go and I add them. I add them to Team Our Victory. I add them to Team 180. And then I add them to Team Iron. How do I do that? On the right-hand side of when I'm looking at it on my computer, on the right-hand side, there's a place where you can type in to add somebody. And you're welcome to add anybody to those groups. You don't have to have a special permission. So you just type their name in, add them to the group, boom, they're already in the group. If you're doing it on your phone when you add them in, you're going to have to click on, when you go into, let me pull it up really quick so you can see. On your phone, you'll see that there's, right here, there's those little dots. That's the more. Oh no, I'm sorry. I'm totally lying to you. I'm staring right at it. There's add members right under. It's really hard to see with the glare. Maybe not. There we go. Add members. You see the little person? So click add members and then you type the person in and they're added to the group. So you can do it on your phone as well. But it's important that you add them to all those groups. In addition, if you're building a team, eventually you're going to want to have a team page for your downline and for your coaches. So a great idea would be to also add them to your team. Now, why do we add them to all these teams? They're all excellent resources. Team Our Victory, it's the smallest of the three because it's me as the leader, and then my personally sponsored coaches, and then their personally sponsored coaches. It hasn't grown to a huge level yet. Team 180 is our next step. It's a little bit bigger. And then Team Iron is the biggest of the three. So they all are helpful in different ways. If you need direct help from me, or maybe your personally sponsored coach, Team Our Victory might be a great place for you to go. There's awesome files there that I've uploaded for you. If you need to see webinar recordings, you can head there. It's important that they're plugged in there. If you add them to Team 180, they're going to get even a little bit more of a taste because you've got even more leaders on that team talking and connecting. You've got more conversations going. And then in Team Iron, you've got a ton of conversations going. So those are great resources for if I don't know the answer, or somebody on Team Our Victory doesn't know the answer, you could post it in Team 180. And if somebody there doesn't have the answer, then Team Iron might have the answer for you. Okay, so they're all really great resources, lots of different ways of hearing different best practices in the business. It's a great way for them to stay connected. So even if they're a discount coach, add them to all those groups. Add them to all the groups. Make them feel welcome and a part of it. What I do when I add people to a group is I try to write a little blurb about them, maybe about their journey so far, where they're at, and just that I'm excited to have them on the team and welcome. And then I also, depending on the person, because again, you don't want to, some people might be shy at first, or maybe they truly just want the discount and they don't want you throwing them all over social media. And I can respect that. I totally get that. So I usually will add people to my Run to Your Happy Place page or my personal page on Facebook and shout them out there too, maybe on Instagram. It depends on the person, like I said, but I try to also do that to let other people see that we're growing a team of like-minded people and that we're just having some fun together. Okay, step 3, after we shout them out and we celebrate, now it's when we have to get down to a little bit of work. We're going to send them immediately new coach email number 1. Now, if you're saying, what's new coach email number 1? Well, guess where you can find it? In the file section of Team Our Victory. It's in the file section, okay? In that welcome email, I have a short video. Now, it's an older video. I did it about a year ago, and I'm actually considering right now maybe I need to update that video. So I'm working through that. But I encourage you to create your own welcome video. In the welcome video, it's not long. I think my welcome video might be like 2 minutes and some change, something like that. But you just want them to be able to see your face and know that you're genuine. There's such a difference from me posting on Facebook on Team Our Victory versus when you get to see me on the webinar. Do you agree? I know that there's a difference, because there's a difference from when Emily posts on Team 180 and I see her face, and Michelle posts on Team Iron and then I see her face on a webinar. It's a total different connection. It's a real human connection you're not going to get just on social media itself. So a video is so powerful. Okay. In the new coach welcome email number 1, you also have a place for them to answer some of their goals in terms of fitness and financial. Now, not everybody joins Beachbody because of a financial situation. They don't necessarily want to work the business, and that's fine. Also, hint, hint, some coaches say they don't want to work at first, and then they get excited and decide they want to try it later. So don't discredit anybody. Don't count anybody out. You never know when the time is going to be right for them to dive in full force into this business. Okay. Also, they're going to look at their business. They're going to look at what times can they work, things like that. Now, in the new coach welcome email, it might not be applicable to everybody in the moment they're in. Let them know that that's okay. That if there's questions that just don't apply to them right now, just leave them blank and let them know that that's cool too. Let them know that you're looking forward to hearing their response, and that after that, you guys will, talk soon. So then the ball is in their court. Now, I'm going to put a little sidebar here. After I send new coach welcome email 1, okay, sometimes I don't get a response. Sometimes they don't write me back. They're on the team. They're getting their discount. They never wrote me back with their goals and all that stuff. Sometimes it can seem a bit overwhelming for a new coach, and that's okay. Usually what I'll do is I'll send them a message, I'll text them or something, and I'll ask them, I'll give them a couple days. And then I'll ask them, hey, did you happen to get my email? I just want to make sure that it went through properly. Because, it's technology. It can fail. The email could have not sent or whatever. So I always give them the grace in that way, and I give them that little buffer, and I see if maybe they just forgot to respond to me, overlooked it, things got busy. Usually they'll tell me, oh yeah, I saw it. I'm so sorry. I'll get it to you soon. And then I leave it there. After that, I do not chase them down. I don't ask them again. I don't keep pressing, because it's a waste of my time. It's a waste of your time. It's a waste of a coach's time to have to hunt somebody down to answer questions for you. If they want to work the business, they're going to come to you and they're going to work the business. If you have to pull teeth from day 1 out of a new coach welcome email, you're going to be pulling teeth for a long time. So if I go to them, follow up about the email and ask them, hey, did you happen to get it? Could you send me your response so that we can get to chatting? And they tell you that they will and they don't. That's it. That's where I stop. I stop there. And when they need me, I am totally here for them. But if they do respond, Then I move on to new coach welcome number 2. This is also, the second document is also in the file section in Team Our Victory. So please go check it out. In that email, you've got the 3 vital behaviors document. You're going to be sending them the business quick start document, super important. There's some website training videos on how to get their website up and running and how to navigate through it, and just things that it makes it so much easier than you having. Now, by all means, you can walk them through it yourself. You truly can, and I have before, but it makes it easier on you when you give them the resource and they can just leisurely check it out when they have some time. In that second email, I also close it by asking, when can we get on the phone? Because I want to walk them through the business quick start. I give them the documents. I tell them all the documents. Here are your documents. Please print them out so that when we get on the phone together, we can talk through them. When can you get on the phone? This is the most important part. Usually, if they've already answered your first email and you got to the second one, they will usually set a time to get on the phone with you. When we get on the phone, this is called our Getting Started Right call. And basically what I do is I just go through the business quick start. I talk through that. More importantly though, when you get on the phone with your coach for the very first time, you've got to get to know them. They're like a family member now. You guys are in this together. You're part of a team. You're not just part of some, thing. Like, you're walking life together. You're doing this fitness journey that's kind of hard and kind of bold sometimes, right? And we all know that this stuff can get a little sticky and icky and funky, and there's highs and there's lows, and we all know this. So it's important that you truly get to know your coaches as people. Ask about their husband or their children or their pets or their jobs, and just get to know them. Maybe they went on vacation. Talk to them about that. Ask them how their vacation was. You really want to dig in and get to know your coaches as people, as friends, right? Because that's the best part, is when you're working alongside of people that you actually really enjoy, right? Okay, so you get to know your coaches, talking through the business quick start. There's an action plan at the end of the business quick start that usually what we'll do is we'll talk through all the steps of the business quick start, and I'll stop at the action plan. I'll tell them that I want them to fill out the action plan. And I ask them, when can you have this filled out for me by? Honestly, a week, a couple days, what do you need? And then schedule the next phone call. The next phone call will be when you can go over the action plan. So it's important that right before the phone call, you ask them to either email it to you or take a picture of it on their phone and send it to you so that you can review what they've written down. That way, in the second phone call, you can review their goals, answer any questions that they still have, and just talk through all of that. Talk through the strategy for how they're going to have success. That's awesome. I see you want to start a challenge group next month. How can we make that happen? What do you want to do? Talk through it together. Okay. And then the next step that you could take. So we've done our Getting Started Right call. We've gone through our business quick start. They've filled out the action plan. You've talked them through their goals, answered any questions that they may have to start. And now what do? Well, you got to plug them into a Coach Basics group. Usually every month there's a Coach Basics group going on Team 180. I'm usually a part of it, hosting it, so I advertise it on Team Our Victory also. But it's so important that you get them plugged into a Coach Basics training group. Why? Well, a lot of times when we start as coaches, we don't even know what questions we have. We don't even know where to start because we've never done this stuff before. You know what I mean? I know that a lot of times Emily would ask me, so do you have any questions? And I'd be like, no. But I did. I had a million questions. I had no idea what I was doing. But I didn't know what to even ask. So these Coach Basics groups are excellent resources because it allows you the opportunity to get them trained in one location with all this information coming from top coaches. And it allows the pressure to kind of come off of you a little bit, in the sense that you don't have to truly spoon feed them and walk with them through everything, that they're given a lot of information, a lot of valuable tools, so that when they're ready, they can use them. Okay? The last thing that you need to do when you get a coach started right, so we got them through the enrollment process. We shouted them out. We celebrated them. We gave them coach email number 1. They responded, thankfully. So we sent them coach email number 2, which had all their documents. After that, we got on the phone with them. We talked them through their documents, talked them through anything that they needed to know right off the bat, especially getting to that form where they can get their money back if they already purchased the challenge pack. Talking them through all that stuff, navigating their personal website, walking them through that together. We set up the next phone call so that we can go over their action plan once they've filled it out, and we can decide what steps we have to take to achieve the goals that they're setting. Then we plug them into a Coach Basics training group, allow them the opportunity to absorb all the information in one safe place with a lot of coaches around them. What's the last thing we got to do? You've got to check in with your coaches. At least once every 2 weeks, you should send them a personal text, ask them how they're doing, how's life, comment on their stuff that's going on Facebook, encourage them, tag them in things, okay? Shout them out even more when they put up a like page or when they have a success with their fitness or their health, anything, but just continue to check in. Weekly text, mail them cards to let them know that you're thinking of them, and just love on them. Because again, like I said, when you add a coach to the team, it's not about adding people under you so that you can grow your business because of me. And it's not about more money it's not about that. It's about changing lives. It's about allowing other people the same opportunity that has affected you. Allowing people to see that there are jobs out here that are so fulfilling that you can wake up and be burning passionate about, and that they pay you. They pay you to have fun. So love on your new coaches. That's all they really need, right? They just need the love and support of their upline. So that's it for tonight, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thanks for being on live. You know I love you and appreciate when you take time out of your busy days to stop in with me. And if you're watching the recording of this, you rock also. So listen, Monday, get people on that call. Get them on that call so that you can start building a business, start implementing these things that you're learning. Because if I'm giving you this webinar with all this information and you don't use it right now, you're going to lose it. So get a coach and now get them started right. You got all the tools.